This is the Variety After Show. This is the show where we break down episodes of your favorite and soon-to-be favorite shows with the stars themselves. And today we have Momona Tamada from Babysitter's Club on Netflix. She plays Claudia Kishi. Just fair warning, there are going to be some spoilers in this, so everybody tuning in, you have been warned. That's your spoiler alert. Momona, it's so nice to see you.
You as well. I'm super excited.
I'm super excited because Claudia Kishi is, I don't know if you know this, an icon, especially among Asian American women and girls. When you signed on for this role, did you have any idea just how important she was in pop culture to Asian American women?
Well, I think when I was reading the books when I was younger, I didn't really recognize that, but now when I started researching a lot about Claudia, I definitely saw how much of an impact she made on so many people's lives, which is so cool that I get to be that for younger generations. It's crazy.
Yeah, so what has been the fan response? What have you heard from fans of the show, specifically ones who are of Asian descent?
I mean, it's so cool to see such a positive impact that the show is making, and obviously it's a little bit different because we don't get to be out in the world and see the impact that it's making there, but it's a lot on social media for sure. And I've been getting lots of emails saying thank you so much for being this representation for me, because I related to Claudia so much, and I think that's just incredible that the show is making that big of an impact to so many people's lives. Sorry,
she definitely. No, can we talk? You have the perfect messy bun.
Thank you.
I saw on social. This is an art that you have perfected.
Apparently, I mean, I was on live the other day and people were like, can you show me how to do your messy buns? And I, one time I showed up to set, because I always show up to set with my hair in a messy bun. If you know me, I always have my hair in a messy bun, just like Claudia. So I walked up to the set into hair and makeup, and they were like, don't move. Your hair is perfect. We're just going to pin it, and then, you're good to go. And, yeah, it worked out, I guess.
Wait. What's the key to doing a messy bun? What's the key to doing a messy bun?
I mean,
how do you do it? Can you show us?
I do it?
Yes, please do.
1 second. I have so many elastics in my hair. Okay. 1 second.
Oh, I miss having hair that long.
Oh, sorry. I'm struggling to get the elastics out.
Oh no!
Okay, I got it.
We lost her. Are you good?
Yes.
Okay.
So you want to pop it up into I guess a ponytail,
okay.
And then you want to take your elastics, pull it halfway through, and then you want to twist your hand around.
Okay.
And then you want to pull the elastic over.
You forgot the most important part, that you have to have long, beautiful hair yours.
And then I always pull out little wispies. Yeah, it took a little while to perfect, but I guess, yeah.
This is why you're cooler than me. Can I be you when I grow up? And in addition to that, by the way, that was perfect. I'm going to be replaying this for when my hair gets long enough. I'm still growing it out. You have the best Claudia has the best wardrobe on the show. She's the best clothes. And I know you got to keep some of them. What pieces did you keep?
This is actually a jacket I got to keep.
Cool.
She wore this at the art show, and I got to keep it, and now I'm wearing it because it's one of my favorite denim jackets. Well, at the end, fun fact, all the girls and I, we got to shop in each other's wardrobe sections. It was so cool. So the last week of shooting, I got to go in my wardrobe, and then I got to look in all the other girls. So I picked some stuff from Christy's, Stacy's, Dawn's, and Marianne's.
Ooh, what did you pick from Stacy's? I think Stacy has the second best.
I believe she had this white off the shoulder top. I'm not sure if she ever wore it in the show, but it was a piece of clothing that was in her section. So I picked that, and I have it in my closet right now.
Can I tell you which one was my favorite outfit?
Of course.
From the series? It was Claudia's dress and earrings from Christy's mom's wedding.
Oh yes, that outfit.
Iconic.
Yes, absolutely iconic. I actually got fitted for that dress the day I was supposed to wear it. Like, in the morning, we were on location, and they were like, can you just, like, come into the fitting room? And then I got fitted for that dress there. And then, like, they had it ready, like, a few hours later. So the wardrobe team is incredible.
Did you get to keep that one, or who snagged that
I
one?
I didn't keep that one. I believe that they had to, like, keep some of the pieces. So I didn't take
Sure.
on that outfit. But it was iconic, and, like, walking in those heels was a definite adventure, and I fell a few times, but
Oh no.
yeah.
You have to wear some funky shoes playing Claudia.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I became a pro after walking in them for, like, a month, and the girls were, like, always there to, like, help me walk to, like, set and stuff, because the shoes are, like, 5-inch, like, platform shoes that, like, I was, like, not used to walking in at all.
So the show, what I really like about it too, is that it's such a smart take on the Babysitters Club, and it's a mature take. You all talk about the first episode. I think Claudia is making a sculpture about menstruation,
Yeah.
and we talk about it. We talk about all those things throughout the show. So for you, did it make it more relatable, I guess?
Yeah, I think the writers did just an incredible job, like, really keeping, like, that nostalgia factor of, like, the original book series and, like, the books that, like, everyone grew up with and, like, love, and putting it into, like, this modern adaptation, you know? And just really, like, I was getting a lot of people's responses and being like, wow, like, I didn't know they were going to cover, like, such, like, serious and very, like, relatable topics. And I think it's so cool that the show did that, because it really shows and, like, shares to the audience that they're really not alone in this, and maybe, like, you're facing a lot of the same issues the girls are facing, and that can help you feel like you have something to relate to.
What was your audition process like? Who did you read with?
Well, because I didn't live in LA, I did a video audition, which is called a self-tape, and I sent it off. I just basically, like, did the audition on video, and I could instantly feel, like, this connection to Claudia, because I loved her growing up in the books, and, like, I had, like, this weird feel, like, a really good feeling about it, and I didn't hear back for a while, actually, so I started getting, like, a little bit nervous about that, and then they were like, oh, you got a call back, by the way, and my mom told me, and I was so excited. So I did a Skype audition with some of the amazing creators of the show, and then shortly after that, I got another email saying that I was flying to LA for a chemistry read with some of the other girls.
That's so fun. And Claudia, we see her in the show. She's going through a lot of stuff, and one of the things that comes up that really touched me and brought up my own kind of background was when Janine, her sister, says, well, you don't even speak Japanese. And so I'm curious, do you speak Japanese? What kinds of cultural things do you relate to with Claudia?
Yeah, well, I do speak Japanese, and I will say, well, my grandma came to Japan over, from Japan to Canada to come visit, like, before I shot the BSC. And I hadn't been speaking much Japanese at home because I was so busy with, like, working, and obviously you don't speak much Japanese when you're on set. So there was a little bit of a language barrier, which, like, it was hard for me to connect with her because, like, we have such a good connection. So that was very difficult to me, and that was, like, an emotion that I could apply to playing Claudia, which was really cool. So I've definitely been working on, like, my Japanese and making sure that I'm, like, continuing to, like, speak fluently in it.
I love that. And what ways are you like Claudia, and what ways aren't you like her?
Well, I've always been super artistic and creative, which I think I get that from my mom. She's, like, so creative and so, like, good at, like, little detailed, like, doodles and stuff. And I loved how, like, free she was, especially when I was younger, I was more of a Marianne, so I was, like, very shy. So that actually, like, probably really influenced my personality now because I was so shy, although I was a definite Claudia because I loved, like, the creative side of her. So just being able to, like, play such, like, a bold person that, like, broke so many stereotypes is, like, huge for me. And then also a way that, like, I'm, like, different from her is that I've never had, like, any, like, problems with my grades, which I'm so grateful for, but I know that's something a lot of, like, kid's face that it's like very real. So I'm glad the show and Claudia just really acknowledged that.
You have so much fun, so many fun scenes with all the girls. Like, I think those are some of my favorite scenes. I also really like that you all included a landline, which is part of part of the book series. Okay, so real talk. Did you know what a landline was?
I did actually, surprisingly. Okay. Well, like in preschool, I know like Sophie has like a really similar story to this, but in preschool, we'd have like toy landlines, and like I like used, because I knew it was a phone. I didn't know it was like a landline. I didn't know it was called a landline. I just thought it was like a regular phone. But my mom would always tell me about like landlines and stuff. So like I had an idea about what they were, but I don't think I like thought that like the phone would be like so iconic. Because it's so cool, it's like clear and it has like all these fun colors and it like lights up when someone calls it. So yeah.
Did you know you used to have to get your internet through that?
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You had to have a landline, and then you wouldn't be able to. So let's say this were the 90s, a million years ago. If the Babysitters Club wanted to have internet, they would have to use the landline to connect into the internet. And then I feel so old having to explain this to you. I love that you're so surprised right now, by the way.
I didn't know that.
And then you wouldn't be able to get any calls. So, because you would tie up the landline. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, good to know. Now I know.
Yeah, you all don't know how hard it was. And there's like the sound and making like this like clanking sound. Anyway, I am really aging myself, but I'm glad I could tell you about landlines and internet today.
Well, yeah. Now I like know something I didn't know yesterday. That's so cool.
Now you can share it with the cast. You can blow them away. Did you know you used to be able to get internet through this? It's called dial-up. Yeah.
That's so cool. I mean, it sounds like that would be a little difficult.
It really wasn't. It was really hard. Yeah. It was really, because then your friends would try to call and they couldn't reach you, or they would, if you had a bad connection, like it would disconnect you from the internet. You'd be in the middle of, browsing Alta Vista or something. You don't know what that is, but that's okay. So you talked about kind of being like Marianne. Is there another babysitter in the BSC who you relate to?
Well, when I was younger, I think I was more of a Marianne, but now I've like switched totally, so I don't really identify as a Marianne anymore. I would say I'm a Claudia mixed with, I did like a BSC test, and apparently I'm a Stacy, which like my room, it looks like it'd be Stacy's room, like all the colors are very Stacy, and I think I identify kind of as like all of the characters a little bit, so like, but mostly it'd be like Stacy and Claudia for me.
And with of the scenes that you have with the girls, which one was your favorite to shoot?
Oh, I feel like anytime we were like anytime like we're together, it's just so much fun. But at the end of the wedding episode, we got to like all dance together, and I didn't even know we were shooting that day, but they just like turned on music and we just started dancing, and it was so fun because it didn't even feel like there was a camera there, and it was just like almost a clip into like our real lives, because we are so close off screen as well.
Yeah, I heard you guys have a really lively group text.
We're always like texting on that.
Who texts the most?
All of us, I would say. Like, we're always like...
How often are you texting with each other?
So much, especially because we can't see each other right now. We've been like, our group chat has definitely been very active, and we have like countless numbers of group chats, like on like Instagram and like on messages and just like on like all social media platforms.
Well, hopefully that'll tide you over if you all have a season 2, which we don't know about yet, right? Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, yes.
Well, where would you like Claudia to go in season 2?
Well, I mean, I would love for her to like, there's so many things, and it's ultimately kind of like up to the writers, but just like, it's gonna be so cool to see how like she matures throughout the season, because people get to like grow up with her all over again, and be so cool to like see her like venture out in like different art forms and stuff like that. So I'm just excited for like the little things, and just to see how much her character really grows throughout like more seasons throughout the show. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, yes, absolutely. And I mean, You have been part of some really, really interesting TV shows and now, of course, this Netflix series. But what's like your ideal, what's your dream role?
Well, I feel like it's very hard to tell with this industry because it's like always changing. And I would just say just to like continue my career in acting and also like maybe like venture out in like different genres of acting. I'm always up for a challenge if you know me. So, yeah.
How does it feel to know that, there are probably thousands of little Asian American girls who look like you and will look at you and see you on this show and go, hey, she looks like me. That means that I'm important. That means that I can do this. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's such an honor, but it's definitely a little bit of pressure for sure because growing up I didn't have a lot of that on screen. So now seeing so many like films that have like Asian leading roles is so cool to see, and just having that honor to be that for like younger generations that like I didn't really have growing up is so cool. And just to see that like people, I hope to see that like people are really heard and that there's other people like you, and it's just so crazy and like surreal to have people like looking up at me. I didn't know that this would happen like so fast, and it's just a huge dream come true.
Who do you look up to when it comes to acting?
Well, I got to work with Lana Condor, and I looked up to her a ton even before.
You played a younger version of her in P.S. to all the boys, I still love you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was like insane. And also like there's so many, and I hope to like maybe like work with like Natalie Portman when I get older. She I believe she was like my age when she worked in The Professional, and she was like incredible at like the age of like 13. So I just hope to like maybe work with her. But there's so many amazing, incredible actors and actresses that I'd love to work with.
How are you keeping busy during this really weird time?
I mean, I don't even know. It's a lot of it's been a lot on my phone, although I've been trying to stay off of it. It's so bad.
Maybe it's time to get a landline, Momona.
I mean, yeah, maybe. It's just because like I said, we can't be there in real life, so everything's like really like all on social media right now. So it's like really hard to like stay off of it, but I've been like trying to do things like go outside on like walks, and like I've been going on so many bike rides recently. So many, like 3 a day. It's yeah. I mean, yeah, and like baking, I've been doing lots of baking.
Oh yeah, what do you bake?
I bake like a bunch of things. I've baked like cupcakes, cookies, donuts, churros, like all like the things throughout like this time.
Just like Lana Condor's character.
Yeah, it's like I have like a mix of like Claudia and like Laura. It's so weird.
You really are.
But that was like my dream job, to be like a baker when I was younger. Of course, my dream job now is to be an actress. So it's cool that I get to pursue it. But when I was younger, I like took baking lessons, and I was like obsessed with baking.
Well, you're already living your dream, so I'm sure baking will always be there if you need it. Before I let you go, I want to know, what is your favorite Claudia Kishi line?
Line from like
from the show, yeah.
Oh man, there's so many. Like I have to think about that.
Or
it's so funny. My friends are all like, it's so funny to hear you say menstruation, and it's like everyone's like laughing about that. I don't know.
And you say it with such a straight face, like it's just so matter of fact when you say it on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
She's like, I'm doing a sculpture on it. What are you going to do about it, right?
Yeah, she's like, so, I don't know. Oh, that's such a good question. I have to think about that.
You'll have to. Do you have a favorite moment from Claudia on season 1?
On season 1, I think the first scene where you see Claudia and she does the whole shoe thing, I think that was so cool. And also just like,
she's writing on her shoes in the middle of class, right?
When I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. That was a like one of my favorite scenes, and also like all of like episode 6 was so much fun to film because it was obviously a very big episode for like Claudia's character, and it was like this huge like character arc like in the season. So that was something I had to prepare a little bit more for because all these new emotions that she was feeling. So but that was one of my favorites because I got to like be on set a lot with like my family, like my on-set family, which is a lot of fun.
Well, I binged this show, so I think I did it in like a day, half a day or something. What are you binging?
Well, I said this a lot, but the Studio Ghibli films that just came to Netflix,
Yeah.
I've been watching all those because I watched those all throughout my childhood. So I've been like rewatching them, and it's so cool to like see them again.
Momona, this was so nice to have you on.
Oh, thank you so much. I had so much fun.
I can't wait till this is all over. One day maybe we can meet in person. I can meet
Yes.
my idol, Claudia Kishi, in person.
Yes, that would be so much fun.
Awesome. Momona, thanks so much for coming on the Variety After Show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the After Show, you guys. I'm Audrey Yap, variety anchor and news reporter. The Babysitters Club is on Netflix right now. You can see Momona Tamada starring as Claudia Kishi. It's based on the beloved YA books. I know I read them, I know I love them, and I know I love this show, and I think you guys will too. Have a fabulous weekend. For more on the latest in the world of entertainment, you know what to do. Head over to variety.com.